Hello guys, I am Ramik Mukherjee. Welcome to my channel. Today we are going to be talking about measures of central tendencies and their usage and when to use them. First, we are going to be talking about mean. So, whenever we need to calculate something about a population by we can say that total population of India, we are taking the uh, height as a variable, and we are noting down everyone's height. The problem is our population is so much larger than any other countries, and our population is very much higher to even calculate. We can't afford that labor and the time. If we take that time to calculate something, it's gonna be significant, but not worth it. So we take samples, right? So if we want a height of an average boy aged 14 or 15, we take samples from everywhere, every city, and then we calculate something about that population. Later in videos, I am going to be talking about sampling and how to take samples that so that it can represent our population. But now, for now, we are going to be talking about how to calculate the central tendencies. By central tendencies, I mean that if you have a discrete variable, by the way, what is discrete and continuous variable? By discrete variable, I mean um, mm, take the number of students in a class. It can only be integer or zero, any integer. It can't be fractions. So we can't just estimate any number like 2.3. We can't tell there are 2.3 number of boys in a class or girls in a class. About continuous, when we say we take the heights of a boys in the class. The height cannot only be integer, it can also be fraction. Like one can say that the height is 122.3 centimeters, but he is estimating that. Even if he is saying 125 centimeters, it's not accurate, because we always have that 0.00001 value that is going to be estimated. So that's a continuous variable. We can't perfectly estimate that to an integer. So in this video, I am going to be talking about only about discrete variables. Okay. About mean, let's take a sample. This is the sample of heights. Uh, Ignore my handwriting, guys. 120, 123, 126. We are estimating this. We're taking it as a discrete variable. Okay. For now, for the calculation. Or you can think anything other than height, that's a discrete variable. 130. So to calculate the mean, we take this height as variable, which is x. We represent mean as x bar, sample mean. We represent population mean, that for that which we are calculating for. That's called mu. This is population mean. This is sample mean. Normally we calculate the sample mean to estimate the population mean. Okay. So we have the formula is summation of I is equal to 1 to n xi divided by n, where xi are these variables. Like this is x1, x2, x3, x4. Okay. So and n is the count of the samples. Like here is 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, there are 4. Sample size is 4. So this is going to be calculated as 120 plus 123 plus 126 plus 130 divided by n means 4. Okay, my handwriting is too bad and I can't even control it with mouse. Nice. So whatever it is, let me see calculator. What's it? 120 plus 123 plus 126 plus 130 divided by 4. It is something like 124.75. So the mean value is 124.75. Now if we take a graph and our central tendency means it is at center, this is the value of 124.75. By central tendency we mean the values in the sample, every value in the sample is going to be close to this value, if it's positive or negative. It can be less than this value and it can be more than this value, but they are going to be close to this value. That what it means to be at central tendency, the measure of central tendency. So this is our mean, right? Now I'm going to clean this. Wait, let me clean it first. Delete, delete, delete. Okay. Now let's take another sample. We are now going to be talking about medium. Okay, and why we use medium. We are taking 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This is our sample. Here mean, which is x bar, equals to 1 plus 2 plus, we always use mean, right? We use it from our childhood. Average, that's mean. It's a central tendency. We estimate that to calculate many reasons, calculate for many things. So now the sample size is 5. So 15 divided by 5 is equal to 3. So the number, every number is going to be close to 3. This value is measuring the central tendency. But what if we add another value in the sample like 45? Now what? This 45 value is much more greater than these values, right? So if we take again, we take the mean again, 1 plus 2 plus 3 plus 4 plus 5 plus 45 divided by 6. Our sample size is 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay. Here total will be 60 divided by 6, 10. 10 is our central tendency mean. But is this representing this whole data? Because one is 45 and other ones are close, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So this central tendency isn't even close to these values. It's almost 2 times greater than this value. So we are calling this outlier. What? Outliers. These are outliers. These outliers tend to make the mean more vulnerable. That's why we can't use mean that represent this data. So we now have to use median. What's median? In the total sample size, when we arrange them or sort them in order, ascending or descending order, like this is already sorted 1, 2, 3. This is an ascending order 5, 45. Then we can count the median class, median value as median value as the number of sample 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. If the number is even, then the median value will be n by 2 or n by 2 plus 1. If it's even, number of samples n equals to even, this. Or if it's odd, like 7, then we can easily calculate it by n plus 1 divided by 2 when n equals to odd, right? So here in this case we have a even number of samples. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, n by 2, we can take median as n by 2. That means 6 by 2 equals to 3 or 6 by 2 plus 1, which is 4. So we can take the third value or fourth value. Okay, that means x 3 and x4. We can take any of that. This then we take the value of the third or fourth and we can set it as our median. This median now represents the data much more better than this median, than this mean. 10 is nowhere near these values, but 4 is near this. So it can represent almost this and this. These are much more centralized value. So if our value, our sample is already good enough to use the mean, like there are very less amount of deviation, there are less number of outliers, and the outliers are not that even great to even change the mean, then we can use the mean as our representation of central tendency, as our representation of our sample. But if we see outliers like this, we have to take median. Okay, we have to take median in this case. We also got another thing as mode in central tendencies. Wait, let me clean this first. Mode. Now what is mode? If we take the same sample 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 45, we can use mode to calculate. Whenever there are outliers, like we can't use mean here, and there is a number frequently occurring, like this 3 is occurring much more than the others. This is occurring 2 times. Okay. So then we can use the measure of central tendency like mode. For this, the mode value will be what's the most frequent value, that's it, or that's occurring, that's 3. So our mode will be 3. This represents the sample. So you have to think out, like later I will discuss about distributions. Like this is a distribution, this is called a normal distribution Bell-shaped curve. So if we take the mean here, the number of values that's going to be close is to this, almost same number of values there and there. In some cases we have to use median, like there are too much outliers and the curve is skewed, then this doesn't represent this. So we have to take our measures of central tendency very seriously, like it can affect our studies. Okay. In later videos I am going to be talking about standard deviation, variance, and measures of other deviations like quartile deviation. It's going to be fun, and about that I am going to show you in later videos that there are continuous variables where we use the frequency and the mid values to calculate this. For the continuous variables where we use frequency, mean is equals to summation xi fi summation of f. Okay, this is the mean formula, and there are median formulas for median, mode. I am not going to be talking about numericals. I am just going to talk about these concepts, why these are necessary, and that's all. Thank you for watching. I will meet you in next video.